What if I told you that the cage trapping your mind has never been locked? This is the story of Thomas. From the outside, his life looked perfect. A successful career, a beautiful home, a loving family who adored him. But inside, Thomas was a prisoner. Invisible chains wrapped tightly around his heart, woven from regret about choices he could never undo, anxiety about a future he couldn't control, and a relentless inner critic that whispered cruel words from morning until night. He smiled for the world, but behind his eyes lived a man desperate for freedom. Thomas believed escape was impossible. He had tried everything. Nothing worked. But what he discovered next, freedom in ways he never imagined possible. Every single morning, Thomas woke before the sun, not from rest, but from the relentless noise inside his head. Thoughts crashed against his mind like waves that never stopped coming. Outside his window, birds sang their gentle songs. Soft golden light crept through the curtains. His wife slept peacefully beside him. His children dreamed sweetly down the hall. The world was calm, beautiful, still. But inside Thomas, a storm raged without mercy. He moved through each day like a ghost in his own life. He kissed his wife goodbye, but barely felt her warmth. He ate breakfast, but tasted nothing. His body was present, but his mind was always somewhere else, trapped in yesterday's regrets or drowning in tomorrow's fears. The thoughts that haunted Thomas were specific and deeply cruel. A business decision from 7 years ago that cost him everything he had built. He replayed it endlessly, torturing himself with what if, words he never spoke to his father before the old man passed away. Those unspoken words echoed through his heart like a wound that refused to heal. And always, always, the fear, a nameless dread that something terrible was just around the corner. Waiting. Watching. These thoughts had stolen precious years from him. His daughter's first dance recital. He was there, but his mind was lost in endless worry. Conversations with his wife where she poured out her heart, but he heard nothing. His body sat beside her, but his mind wandered 1,000 miles away. Thomas felt exhausted down to his very bones. Hopeless. He wondered if peace was even possible for someone like him. Was he simply broken beyond repair? Most people spend their entire lives carrying this weight, never realizing there's a way to set it down. Thomas was about to learn something that most never discover. One night, Thomas reached his breaking point. Sleep was impossible. The walls of his bedroom felt like they were closing in, and neither there, he needed something he could not name. He walked through quiet streets until he found himself in a small park. There, on a wooden bench, sat an elderly woman feeding birds from her palm. Something about her stillness stopped him completely. She radiated a peace Thomas had never known. No tension in her shoulders, no storm behind her eyes. Just calm, pure and absolute. Against his nature, he sat beside her. Minutes passed in silence. Finally, his voice broke through. "I feel like a prisoner in my own mind." The woman smiled gently, as if she had been waiting for him. "Then let me show you the door you have been looking for. Return tomorrow morning." Thomas returned at dawn. The elderly woman was already waiting. Beside her on the bench sat a small, rusty bird cage. Inside, a single bird perched quietly, unmoving. "Tell me," she said softly, "why doesn't the bird fly away?" Thomas looked closer. His breath caught in his throat. The cage door was wide open. It had been open the entire time. This bird was caged for so long, the woman explained, that it forgot freedom was possible. Even now, with the door open, it chooses to stay. It believes the cage is its only reality. She turned and looked deep into Thomas's eyes. "Your thoughts are the cage, Thomas. Your regrets, your worries, your fears. They feel like prison bars, solid and unbreakable. But the truth is, the door has always been open. You simply forgot you could walk out." Something shifted deep inside him. A crack formed in the walls he had built around his heart. For the first time in many years, Thomas felt something finally breaking loose. A spark of hope flickered to life once more. The woman continued, her voice gentle but filled with truth. You are not your thoughts, Thomas. Thoughts come and go like clouds passing through the sky. But you are the sky itself. You have been holding on to clouds, believing they define you. She let the words settle before continuing. Every thought is just a visitor. It knocks on your door. You have the power to acknowledge it and let it leave. Your regrets are nothing but memories replaying without your permission. Your worries are stories about a future that does not even exist yet. She placed a weathered hand over his. Freedom is not the absence of thoughts. It is the realization that you do not have to follow them. You can simply let 10 go. The lesson landed in Thomas's heart, like a key turning in a lock. In the days and weeks that followed, everything changed. When a regretful thought arose, Thomas noticed it. He took a slow breath, and he let it pass like a cloud drifting across the sky. He no longer fought his mind. He simply observed it. For the first time in years, Thomas was truly present. He tasted his morning coffee and savored its warmth. He heard his daughter's laughter and felt it fill his heart. He held his wife's hand and actually felt her love flowing into him. The storm inside had finally quieted. Not because the thoughts disappeared. They still came. But Thomas no longer let them imprison him. Where once he was trapped, now he was free. Where once he was exhausted, now he felt peace. Thomas finally understood the beautiful truth. He was never truly locked in. Perhaps you, too, have been sitting in an open cage. Remember, your thoughts are not your master. You can let them go. The door has always been open. You only need to see it. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like, subscribe, and begin your own journey to freedom. Starting now.